Hi everyone, I'm Mark Rosenthal with you on this Friday afternoon. We are recording this Weatherblast as of about 3 o'clock. Our nor'easter continues to rage. Unbelievable what's going on out there. I'm sure you've seen a lot of news reports, but we're going to do our own thing with you here this afternoon. So let's get into it right now. And I want to talk about a couple of snowfall amounts back out into the Berkshires. Heath has had about 8 or 9 inches of snow. Rowe is about 10. Plainfield, 7.4. They continue to get walloped. Back into the Berkshires, that snow is starting slowly to expand east now into western Worcester County. I'm going to show you that in a second. Peak wind so far at Blue Hill, 67 miles an hour, 78 mile an hour wind. Out around Wellfleet, 77 in Woods Hole and Charlestown, Rhode Island, 63. The next high tide in Boston Harbor is 11:46 tonight. Now, watches and warnings from the National Weather Service in light green. It's a flood warning in effect. The brown, which encompasses a good chunk of Massachusetts, high wind warning, obviously. The pink zone is a winter storm warning, and so on and so forth. But notice the orange shade just to the east of Boston, from Gloucester to Cape Cod. Those are hurricane force winds. Really incredible stuff. Again, so we talk about the next high tide being at 11:46 tonight. I'm concerned about that. Then we have another high tide, still with a strong north and northeast wind tomorrow at noon, and one tomorrow night just after midnight. These could all create very serious flooding along the shore. I want to show you some pictures. This is a car engulfed in water in Situate. Look at that. The floodwaters are raging down there, and there's been numerous telephone poles down. This is near the Arsenal Mall in Watertown because of winds gusting over 60 miles per hour. Let's look at the mosaic northeast radar loop as of 3 o'clock. You see the heavy rain continuing to come in from the Atlantic Ocean, but watch what happens in western Worcester County, how the snow just suddenly appears, and snowing very hard now from the Berkshires back to New York State. I still think we flipped to snow in Boston by this evening. How much? I'm still scratching my head on that. But as we look at the latest visible satellite loop, you see the storm has an eye to it, located south of Block Island, just taking all kinds of Atlantic moisture in. It's just pinwheeling around. It's being captured in the upper levels of the atmosphere by a strong storm. That means the storm's not going to lift northeast. It's just going to drift southeast. So we have a number of hours to go. Temperatures, you're probably scratching your head and saying, look at that, Mark, it's over 40 in Boston. How are we going to snow? Eventually, we're going to cool down from above. And there is somewhat colder air off to our north that could get involved later on. New cold air building in western Hudson's Bay will have to be watched. So this is what we're going to do now. We're going to come back to me, and we're going to talk about the forecast. For the balance of the afternoon in Boston, we're talking about rain, heavy at times, obviously very windy. We're in low and mid-40s, but temperatures will slowly fall by dark. Northeast winds gusting 50, 60, maybe 70 miles an hour, certainly along the coast. Now, probably in Boston after 6 o'clock, the way it looks right now, I think the rain's going to mix with and change to a period of heavy, wet snow. Temperatures falling back 34, 35 degrees. How much snow? It's really tough to say. I think along the coast, the greater Boston area, out to 128, there could be 2 to 4 inches of heavy, wet, cement-like snow. Worcester Hills, west, 6 inches or more. Big problems, obviously, from Worcester to the Berkshires, where there's going to be a lot of power outages. Now, tomorrow morning, you wake up, there could be some rain or wet snow in the air. It's going to be ending, very windy, and then just gray skies during the afternoon. Temperatures near 40. And on Sunday, a mixture of sun and clouds, still windy. It'll be near 40. Monday, partly cloudy, breezy and cool near 40. There might be some rain or wet snow here by next Wednesday. I'm working on that potential for you, but it looks like March, unlike February, is going to be much colder with a potential for several storms. And of course, when you're in your car, you want to hear my latest forecast, turn on Easy 99.1 FM WPLM. I'll be back a little bit later with an update. Until then, I'm Mark Rosenthal. Please be safe.